We are live. Hello, everyone in Facebook land. Happy Friday the 13th. And I know you're going to make it a fabulous day. We are hoping to bring you some value today. We will bring you some value today. We are live. Home chat. This is our 46th episode. If you don't know me, I'm Kat Trelinos with Ta-Da by Kat, Next Level Staging and Design. I'm also triple color certified. So this is an awesome topic that was actually brought on by my guest, Jessie, who is a very successful realtor here in the Houston area. And she has gotten this question from more, like everyone is asking, is white, are we over white for interior paint? What's up with white? So we're going to have a great dialogue. So if you don't have time to watch us now, watch us on the flip side. This will also be posted on our YouTube channel within about 48 hours. And you want to come back if you don't have time, because we're doing a giveaway. And it's all about paint. If you ever wondered about sheen, do I do flat, matte, gloss, semi-gloss, high gloss? I've got a cheat sheet for you, but you got to come over to my YouTube channel to get it. We're going to link it over there at Ta-Da by Kat on YouTube. So without further ado, I'd like to welcome my esteemed guest, Jessie Singh. Jessie, welcome. Thank you so much for taking time, especially on short notice. Most of my amazing guests are on short notice. I used to be very anal about planning ahead and 3 weeks ahead. And I found that life is just so organic and amazing and magical that guests like yourself appear in a short notice and topics appear. And I thank you for coming up with this topic, being a very busy, and also thank you for taking your time, because I know, the market is pretty crazy right now. You have an appointment right after the segment. But you are hearing this question about white paint all the time, which is how you came up with this topic. So before we go into the paint topic, tell us a little bit about Jessie, because you have a great bio.
Awesome. So Jessie Singh, I'm a real estate broker in Houston, Texas.
Broker, yes.
Yes, broker. And actually just a few months ago, added another team member whose name is Jessie as well. So it's very easy. We have a girl Jessie and a boy Jessie.
I love it.
We specialize mostly in the inner loop and then the surrounding areas.
Okay, perfect. And so Jessie's a little modest, so she's probably not gonna. Sorry about that. My phone is on, and I don't know, playing stuff from YouTube. Jessie has a very interesting background. She's really, been around the world. Spent a year in Australia. What other countries did you?
So it's really weird, but I was born here in Dallas, and when I was 8 years old, my dad decided that we weren't embracing the Indian culture in Texas, so moved us to India, moved us to a village in India in 1991. So we lived there for a little bit. We would have power cuts, water cuts. I mean, he really wanted us to respect everything that we got.
Wow.
It was a little harsh parenting, I would say, but it was great. So we lived in India for about 10 years. And then 2001, my brother and I moved back here to go to college. So we came back to Texas.
Wow.
Lived in India for 10 years, learned Hindi, learned Punjabi.
Punjabi and Hindi. Yeah, she speaks.
They're just different dialects, so it's very easy. Usually a lot of Indian families will speak
the dialects. Now, are your parents still back in India?
No, so my mom's here. She's in Dallas. Yeah.
Awesome. And your story, your bio, correct me if I'm wrong, it reminded me of myself. I was in corporate America in high-tech industries, and the bottom had fallen out. I had served about 10 years in high-tech, and I had kind of a light bulb that, instead of negotiating multi-million-dollar contracts that I could lose, not because I didn't build a relationship, but because of pennies on a dollar or whatever, cost per minute or something, or some data line. I wanted to connect with people. And it was through my amazing realtor back in Chino Hills, California, that kind of inspired me, that I wanted to do something more of service to a one-on-one, peoples. And isn't that similar to kind of your, thought about getting into real estate?
Well, really, it was my husband, so I have to give him full credit. He wanted me to be in a career where I had my own schedule, and so we love to travel. We don't have children, so that was kind of the thing, is whatever we do, we'll work very, very hard, but when we take time off, we do want to travel the world. So it was him. He really pushed me. I loved my stable 9-to-5 job where I was going to make.
But I'm sure you wouldn't turn back now.
I love
having the flexibility
so much.
Yeah, having the flexibility. I mean, right now, I've got 3 adult grown children and 4 grandchildren, and we want to travel so bad, and there's just so much craziness going on in the world. So that's kind of put a little hinder on it, but I'm sure it'll get back to normal soon.
Yeah.
All right. So let's dive into our topic, because I want to stay on schedule for you to meet your appointment, et cetera. What are you hearing from your clients out there about white?
So basically, this is kind of how it started. So as you know, like in the 2012, 13, 14 era, it was very much like everyone wanted the cappuccino cabinets, the beige paint, the dark countertops, the granite countertops, and that was very, very popular. And then I don't know what happened. I think it was like 2016, 15, 16, where that was gone. Nobody wanted that. Everybody wanted the quartz countertops and the white cabinets, white counter, like everything was white. Yep. And it was a very short period of time that the trend changed. And then now 2 days ago closed on it was a new construction where my client, it was so beautiful, but what they picked like these beautiful blue cabinets, still the white quartz countertop with the very nice blue cabinets and a little darker wood. So it's like the whole like white on white on white, that I think is over now, because I'm seeing a lot of
yes. And along with that, what else is over is the grays. In my staging business, I see a lot of flippers. Some of them are novice, some of them not novice, but they'll go in and just like, gray, and do everything gray. Yeah. And gray is kind of going, it's been out for actually about a year now. In terms of doing gray on gray. And the biggest mistake, and I've talked about this before on episodes, is folks don't take into consideration the fixed elements. So especially investors, and I've seen homeowners, color does not exist by itself. Okay. Yeah. And you have to look at what exists. And if you've got warm tone flooring or cabinets or red tone and you put gray, it's like you missed the mark. It's like, big time, so you can't just go in there and slap a color, really any color. And let's talk about white. So like I just renovated my home and I did it highly reflective white. We did a piano gallery, the same color. I did it for a specific reason, because I brought in color and I wanted a high, what they call LRV, or light reflective value, because where I live, there's a lot of trees, and the direction of the home is such that I don't get a lot of light. Okay. But to just do white on white, it becomes, I think sterile. It's probably, you have to do it right. And then the other thing on white is, like I had a client not too long ago say, I'm just going to paint the whole house white. I said, well, there's hundreds of whites. Yeah. and if you don't want to be surprised by a purple undertone, a green undertone, a yellow undertone, or a pink undertone, you need to make sure you have the right white. Yeah. So here's my tip to folks out there in any paint color, but especially white. There's a couple things that you can do. You can take a white piece of paper. It's all about comparing, and put your swatches on a white piece of paper. I use a charcoal gray in my kit, but you can use gray or white. And what you won't see just laying it out or holding it up, you don't want to ever hold it up to old paint, because again, it's reflecting off of the old paint.
Okay.
So you're not going to get a true reading. So put it on a white piece of paper and then you go, oh, okay, now I see the yellow undertone. Oh, now I can see the green. Oh, now I can see the blue. And it's amazing how that will be revealed. Time of day is important as well, to get the best light read. And a couple of things that I suggest my clients do is don't pick paint at the store. Number one, they don't have the right lighting. Okay. And so you're going to get a skewed color.
Okay.
Bring it home. This is a great, I use this and leave these with clients. It's called a small wall. You can order them. I think you can order them online. Just put in small wall, and it's an adhesive. So you can take your sample paint and just roll it on here and then put it up in the specific room, because I can't tell you how many times I've seen, like, let's say, a paint that was supposed to be blue and it looks like a totally different color in another room. And that's because the light is reflecting differently, as well as maybe the outside, the trees are reflecting green. And so it's reading a different color. So this is a great option. And then the other option, I use these for design clients and even for staging. I just get a foam board, and these are, I think it's called sample eyes. So these are Sherwin-Williams, and they just, stick on. So they can stick on your wall or stick on a board, so you can move it from room to room. And they're not that expensive. And this is a way that you can compare a lot better than little swatches, to actually see how is that color going to read in the space, because maybe you're okay with that undertone, but you want to know, what is the energy that you want if this is for your home to sell or to dwell in, what energy do you want to feel in that room? Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, that's really good. So this is funny, but our current house, it's a custom home that we built. And so when we were picking colors, you're going to laugh at this, but I was so exhausted, because you forget about, when you're building, every single thing that you have to pick. Every single thing. So
it can be daunting. Down to how many hose bibs do you want on the outside?
Exactly. It was so much. It was so much. So we were just exhausted. And we had to pick colors for the cabinets. And I'm so discouraged to hear that gray is out, because all our cabinets are gray. And
okay. Well, but let me just preface that with, I'm talking about putting gray everywhere, gray on gray. Gray is a neutral. This is what I tell my staging team as well. Gray, white, black, and even some creams are neutrals. So we don't count those when we bring in color pop. So gray is a neutral that you can bring in almost any color as your accent, 2, 3 maximum accent colors. The gray that's out that I'm talking about is the folks that put gray floor, gray on gray on gray.
Okay.
It's just like some stagers are what I call beige on gray on tan. That's not me. That's not me. If you look at my portfolio, I love color and because it's memorable, Once in a while, I've had, a client that was, their safety zone was they wanted it to look like oatmeal, like beige on tan on brown. And that's just not me. It's not memorable. It's not my brand. Even for staging, I truly believe, and we've seen the result. I mean, we have 2 apple green sofas that every time we use them in a stage, it sells like that for, over list. I
think that's what it is. Buyers want something unique. So when we're looking at a new construction has been just so popular, because buyers right now want turnkey, especially with everything on back order, everything delayed. If something,
and it's even gonna get worse, I'm told. But you're absolutely right. They don't want to fixer upper.
No.
So if you're looking to sell your home, I have to say the power of paint is your biggest bang for your buck. If you can't, right? Would you agree, Jessie? Yes. If you can't afford to do anything else, paint and stage.
Yeah.
At least paint.
Yeah, no, but I'm seeing now and usually like you were saying with builders, they kind of, when they're building, it's not just going to be one or two homes, it's going to be many, many homes. And so they want to make sure that whatever they're doing is going to stay and not, just be like whatever trend just lasts for like a few months and then, we're on to the next thing. So I am seeing a lot of statement walls, even when the properties are staged. Like you said, I'm seeing very cool colors, or like the greens and the purples and the pinks. And
yes,
it's awesome. It's unique.
Jewel tone colors are, so if you want to know what's coming up, and it's kind of, they try to project and forecast colors, and a lot of things have to do with it, from movies, entertainment, fashion, all of that. We saw the jewel tones for 2021, and I believe it was Urbane. It's Urbane Bronze is a rich but dark color by Sherwin-Williams. Thought I had the number here. I can post that on YouTube. But it's a rich, great, as you said, accent or pop color, but it complements. It doesn't compete. It's not like, I did this bright red or bright, purple wall. That's not going to appeal to everyone. So Urbane Bronze is wonderful in that it's rich. It has a little gray undertone, but it plays well to bring in texture, other colors, and those sorts of things to give it interest. Because we're seeing in design, we're seeing more organic, more, earth, such as this, my customer, I feel it, greenery, and earth textures, rattan, kind of a wabi-sabi look, as I call it, sisal rugs, rich cognac leathers, things like that. So, I love that. I love that we're seeing that. Last year it was naval, I think, Sherwin-Williams naval blue, and blue. I think blues and greens will always be on trend and positive, because they're the most actually revered colors for the masses. So you can't go wrong with blues and greens. But it's not to say that you can't, whether it's in staging or design, bring in a fun, unexpected pop of yellow or a pop of burnt orange, or, we're seeing kind of more muted colors, kind of like the blue that you have in your Australia surfing back there. We just did a historic home in Houston, absolutely adorable. And my client used great selections, clawfoot tub, but she used peacock blue. They did the trim on the outside of this little bungalow, and then they did the cabinets in the main bedroom, and then they had a custom island done all in peacock blue. And
wow,
that's stunning. And that went great with black. They did black accents. And then of course we brought in actually a green, again, back with green and blue with black to give it that kind of historic metal look. But color is fun.
That's really, I love that. And I feel like when painting trim a different color from the walls, that would be so risky to me, but I'm seeing some builders now do it, and it looks beautiful. It really looks so beautiful.
Absolutely. And especially if you're, let's say the Urbane Bronze, if you're doing an accent wall and then you bring in, I've even seen it done in black. One of the tricks that I like to share with our viewers, and I think I said at the top of the show here, if you go to my YouTube channel, and I believe my proctor here and husband will be placing the link in a couple of days. When it's posted, we will have a link for this cheat sheet. So little tip on sheen. So this is about sheen. sometimes you can, if you're feeling like, I don't really want to do a darker, I don't want to be that bold, especially if you're looking to sell it, not, live in it. A lot of folks don't realize that they can change the sheen. Let's say they do a matte on the walls, and matte is great because it's forgiving. If you have imperfections in the walls, matte is wonderful for that, or flat, one of the two. I think matte can be a bit more expensive. So if you're selling, I would just do flat.
Okay.
But then you can switch it up to the same color. You don't have to go up on the card or go another color, and do it in a semi-gloss, and it's going to look like another color. So you'll get that. So you'll get that definition, that contrast, without switching up the paint.
Okay. So for the walls, matte or flat? That's what you recommend.
Matte or flat.
Okay.
Exactly. And it's funny. We're even seeing that in bathrooms. Where I'm from in Southern California, we always did. Bathrooms were in like a semi-gloss, so you could wash it.
Oh,
yeah, I know. Isn't that weird? Different parts of the country.
Yeah.
And here is, even when I was in the builder world, it's they were all done in flat, flat or matte, except for the trim and the cabinets, of course. Yeah.
Now, Kat, tell me this: is wallpaper coming back?
It is.
Oh man. You know what's crazy is, so my brother does mold remediation in Dallas. His company.
Oh, does he really?
He tells me like the number one, like the issues are homes that have wallpaper in like bathrooms, where there's going to be high humidity, or if it's a wall that faces like an outside. That's
well, here's the beauty of technology and new products. And I actually just met this sweet little gal. Her name is Journey, near my warehouse. So she opened up a little shop. She does custom. In fact, I'm probably going to do a Facebook Live with her, because she does these custom like mirrors for weddings, like with their name and just all kinds of stuff. But she had on her main wall this black and white that I recognized, black and white wallpaper that I recognized from Wayfair. Hey, Wayfair. Oh. And I go, is that from Wayfair? She goes, yeah. I go, I recognize it because I saw it. And it's that you just peel it on and put it on. So you don't have to be committed to it. If you get tired of it, you can peel it off.
Good.
That's what they say.
It's expensive. It is expensive. Wallpaper insulation is. I mean, I've seen it in some homes, and I think it's so beautiful. I don't know. I'm not a big fan of wallpaper personally, because hearing my brother.
I'm not a big fan. In fact, I'll tell you a little secret. Our home's about 20 yees old. And when we came in here, there was floral wallpaper in the bathrooms, in the kitchen. Honey, it's still there.
Well, because it's popular now, so it's great. Just leave it.
No, I had it painted immediately 20 years ago. My painter because here's what he told me. He said, if we peel that wallpaper off, they did this at the new build. It was a Ryland home, and there's no texture. You'd have to have all of the walls textured. So I'm like, no, what else can we do? So they put kills and painted over it, and we had it painted for the second time now. We never stripped the wallpaper.
Oh, that's good. Well,
yeah, but I think where we're seeing wallpaper, here's where I would suggest wallpaper is in a powder room. Okay. If you have an elegant powder room, I just have a single story, and I have a full bathroom that serves as the powder room too. It has 2 sinks. Yeah. So I would never put it in there because it has a shower. My granddaughter showers in there. So there would be a moisture issue. But if you have a regular small powder room with just 1 sink, pedestal sink or whatever, that's the perfect place to glam it up with and extend your personality and put in wallpaper if you like. But I would definitely look into to the peel stuff. Because it's pretty easy to put up and very forgiving. And again, you can swap it out if you get tired. That's if you're into a kind of a boho look. I mean, I love so many styles. I guess that's why I do what I do. But so I have a little bit of eclectic. But boho, I think you have to either go boho or go home. But with boho, it could work, possibly. Okay. So, when it comes to creating your space where you're living, not selling, you need to know, or you need to do what brings you joy and what makes you smile. works with you aesthetically and also functionally. I have a new client coming up that you referred me to, and she's got a little munchkin, so, that has to be taken into consideration. Maybe an investment of a $10,000 sofa is not the best choice.
Exactly.
So we go for a look, but the functionality and durability, for someone with small children or dogs or, whatever.
Yeah.
Selling is a whole nother story. So I'm going to give our viewers, a couple tips if you're looking to neutralize your space, whether you're living in it for your own enjoyment or you're selling it. Alabaster, Sherwin-Williams Alabaster is my go-to creamy white that does not compete with cool or warm. So it's not going to be, like what I have in my home is highly reflective white. It's definitely on the cooler side. So that wouldn't play so well if someone had warm countertops or warm flooring.
Okay.
So alabaster is great for that. Yeah, absolutely great. Stay away from the agreeable gray. I know realtors are preferring agreeable gray, as their go-to, but I would really rather see the alabaster because then it truly is neutralizing the color. And, for everyone, whether they have cool or warm countertops, flooring, things like that.
That's great. That's a really, really good tip. Thank you.
So what haven't we? Urbane Brunch. It's Sherwin-Williams 7048. Check it out.
Okay.
It's a great natural color, but if you're looking to bring in, a pop or an accent color, just be careful. Like accent walls are kind of can be kind of dated with the wrong color. They can look like years gone by, but so just make sure you've got a more of an on trend for the last 2 years colors. What else?
Well, Kat, can I ask you one thing? Because I'm going to make my husband watch this. My husband, he's a really big Sex and the City fan, and he wants to paint our room, do a statement wall red. Can you please tell him that's a terrible idea? And so he doesn't do it.
What's your husband's name?
Austin, please.
Austin.
Austin, yeah.
Don't do it, honey.
Yeah, thank you.
Don't do it. Bring the excitement with some red silky underwear.
No, well, it's because I think in one of the episodes, Mr. Big has a red wall. And so he has been asking for that. And I was like, no.
Okay, I'm going to give you a freebie here. Have him screenshot or send me a picture. And we've watched all the Sex and the City. I love it. We watched the new movie too. Send me a picture of his wall. Okay. Let me look at it. Okay. And I'll give you a couple ideas how he can bring that feeling into the room. With maybe not doing the wall red.
Thank you.
Yeah, and I think he'll be excited because what he's looking for is the feeling, not the red wall.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. Maybe I'll put a poster of Mr. Big. I don't know. I'll do something, but yeah, that red wall is just.
Oh, that's too funny.
So thank you. You're the professional here, so I'll pass this along to him.
But I like that he wants to do something different. One of the biggest mistakes that folks do, whether it's their own home or selling in design, is all the same. Too matchy. Yeah. Everything matchy. Yeah. It's just more interesting. We saw a U-turn in design many years ago when I was still working in model homes, where it used to be our parents' or grandparents' day as they would go in and pick out a bedroom suit, right? Or a living room set. Don't do that. Don't go to Ashley and pick the chair. Don't do it. It takes a little bit more thought, but it's just so much more interesting. And go to model homes, see how they, their stuff doesn't match. Yeah. It completes. It doesn't compete. So you just have to stay in the same color tones, but change it up with texture, with fabric, with, different things like that. And you'll be glad that you did, especially if you're living in your space, because it's going to feel like you. and it's going to be an extension of you. But yeah, have get that picture from Austin.
I will. I'll text it to you.
Text it to me. Yeah, I'd love to help it. And with that, have him give you a couple of words, 2 to 3 words, of how he wants to feel when he walks in the bedroom. Tell him, keep it, not X-rated, but how he feels that red wall would make him feel.
Okay, that's a good. I never asked him that. I should have.
We call them power words in design. Have him give you a couple of power words. What's the feeling that he's looking for there? Yeah. You have been awesome, Jessie.
Well, this was so fun. Thank you so much. It's so informative. I love it. Like I told you before, I know as a realtor, I know where my expertise ends, and that's design. I don't know much about it.
But you are an amazing realtor, and obviously, you've got some amazing clients who adore you because you're doing the right thing. If someone didn't want to wait to the YouTube channel, how could they reach you, quickly to find out about, selling or buying in the Houston greater area?
Perfect. They can reach out to me. My email, I'll ask your husband to add it on.
Yes.
Yeah, so I can provide that. They can call me. I live central, but my phone number is like North Houston, but it's 936-333-7365. Easy phone number. They can reach out to me.
Perfect. Yeah, I don't think anybody defines the phone number anymore because
I know
from out of state, right?
Exactly. Yeah,
you don't even know because we keep our numbers forever, right? So, all right. So we're at 10:31. Thank you so
much. This was so lovely.
For joining me, and I'm going to be talking to you soon about a project we're going to work on together. And as always, stay positive, stay hopeful, and stay connected. And we thank you so much for connecting with me and Jessie today. And go to our YouTube channel for that freebie. We'd love to share that with you on the paint finishes and make it a fabulous, fabulous weekend.
Thank you, Kat. Bye, guys.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.